Hey, this is John Grafft. We are at 3913 North Richmond. We're kind of in St. Ben's, kind of in Ravenswood, but I'd really call this Irving Park East. That'd be the technical part of this neighborhood. If you look 2 doors down, it's raining right now, but 2 doors down, there's new construction that was built. And I think that was kind of the comp for the neighborhood. People saw that, was like, hey, maybe we should be doing something here. Maybe we'll try and flip this house. My guess is that's what this is. So come on in. You'll notice right off the bat, the Schlage lock. These are great. You can let friends in, family, you can set a 1-day code, you never need your keys. I have the same exact lock in my house, and sooner or later, we're not gonna wait for it, that lock's just gonna turn automatically. So you never have to think about it, you never have to carry keys out with you. It's nice. There it goes. Yeah. So you hear that, you know you're secure, you know it's locking. I really love how you walk in and it's so wide. We're at 21 feet right here. And it's right in your entrance, right in your foyer. People come in. It's always uncomfortable when you're coming into someone's house. You know, they open the door, they say, come on in. Everyone steps in and then you're crowded. And then you're kind of shuffling around each other, taking off your shoes and putting up coats. You'll never have that problem here. You have your front closet right here. The stager did a really good job of putting a bench here. And the bench is nice. Take your shoes off, get ready to go, enter the room, do what you need to. Now, right when we walk in, we can tell we have a formal dining room area right here and living room set up right here. Now, the only thing that's interesting about this is I'd picture this more of chairs because you're probably never gonna actually just sit here and talk. Most people would want to put a TV in this space. It's nice not to have it, but it doesn't feel exactly right to me. I think you'd have more of a sitting area. Maybe if there was a fireplace here, that would make more sense or it would fit into it more. But it's kind of this room that you're probably not gonna end up using in this way. If you had kids, I think this might be the play area because when you come through here, you know what's interesting? They did 4 light fixtures. And what's nice about that though, is it really allows you to decide where the dining room is because you always want to light over your dining room table. And this gives you that flexibility. And a lot of projects, you're often moving the J boxes to accommodate a new placement of a light because whatever the original floor plan was, it's not who the ultimate or what the ultimate buyer ends up doing. They have their own idea and you're tearing into the ceiling, you're repairing drywall, you're moving electric just to accommodate that request. So it's smart to put these J boxes all the way throughout. I really like the crown molding they did. My guess is that these are not new windows. They could be, they probably are actually, but these are kind of as cheap as they get, and that's why I want to say they're not. I think these are old windows. They're classic vinyl double hungs, nothing special to them. It's as cheap as it goes. You have a picture window nice in front, which is definitely what you want. They did a slightly wide plank here, and this is an engineered floor. Let's see what that is, what that comes out to. Yeah, it's like 4.5 inches. So it's not small, but it's not wide. It's kind of right in between, but it's a little fatter than normal. Engineered floor. Now what's nice about this is this probably has 1 or 2 sands in it. So whenever you damage the floor or have a problem, you can pull out these individual tiles, but it can be a pain and sometimes the floor never comes together quite right the same. But you can sand this entire space, take care of those imperfections, and with these engineered floors, you usually get 1, maybe 2 of those sands. So we have 2 rooms right here. Like this crown molding, it wraps all the way around. We have a closet. So this is probably gonna be a pantry. I think they didn't build this out because they're gonna let you decide what it is. They don't know what it could be. It could be a coat closet, it could be a pantry, it could be anything. This is a powder room right here. See these overhead lights both turned on automatically. Now, here's some things to note in here. Pretty typical powder room setup, pretty normal. We have a low profile sink. This is IKEA. You can always tell with this design. That's my only knock on this design. So many people have used it and there are better options out there for a little bit more money or even the same price. So just to get away from the standard IKEA look that everyone has, do some more shopping, find something that solves the same purpose, has the same goal, but looks a little different. But you can see right here, come on in. So you see how this plumbing sits all the way in the back there? Those are special pieces that are very difficult to do. Technically, this doesn't meet Chicago code because it's not metal. It's supposed to have a metal flashing all the way around, a metal coating, but it's not. Another thing to note here, these are small things, not a big deal, but think about them whenever you're doing something in your own home or whenever you're out home shopping. See how this is, where this is facing? So if you're sitting here, doing your business, which I hope you never do in the powder room, like go upstairs or something. But if you're actually taking toilet paper, one thing, this is way too close. Like it's like an armrest more than it's a toilet paper holder. But it should be facing the other way, because now you're forced to tear this way. You always want to have this going away from you so you can pull towards you when you want the toilet paper. It's the small things, but these are the signs that the labor was cheaper here, because this would never happen with a skilled craftsman. It just doesn't happen. Notice these 5-panel glass doors. These look nice, sharp, simple, straightforward. Notice these punch outs. You see these? So this is low voltage wiring running throughout the house. You see 2 more here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 punch outs here, which is kind of strange because usually what you have is a 5.1 setup. So you'll have like 3 speakers in the rear, 2 speakers in the front, or whatever that mix is. I think it's 3 in the front, 2 in the rear to do surround sound, and then you have a subwoofer someone else. Well, they just did 8 here in this row, 2 in this row. So the sound dynamics aren't necessarily gonna work right. So this could have been better thought out as well. And frankly, I'm not one of this opinion. I have wired speakers in my home. I prefer them, I like them because it offers you more flexibility in the end, even though you have to wire things. But when you can hide the wires, most people are using Sonos now. So if you're a developer, if you're rehabbing, I would just avoid this. Most people buy these homes and they never even use these. They don't install the speakers, they find out what it's gonna cost, or just life gets in the way. They have resistance, they don't have the time, they never get to it. So either as a developer, build this out, add the speakers, they're not that expensive, or just don't do it at all. And it's my job as a realtor to say, hey, people have Sonos, not a big deal. When people come in and bring it up, oh, I saw a house that had wired. Do you actually wire those? Do you see speakers in there? No, because rarely do people use them. Just get your Sonos set up. Now, kitchen's definitely the highlight of the space. I do like this whole room. I mean, they've tucked away the kitchen over here, so you basically have a straight line looking into the living room. So I think this looks very, very clean. Now, you have room for 4 easily down here. This is an example of a place where I don't know if I would have done the waterfall edge. You see waterfall a lot. I think it looks spectacular in most applications, but in single families, I'm not the biggest fan because it just kind of closes off this corner. And now when I'm sitting here, I'm confined by this, which like isn't the end of the world. It's not a big deal. But if you're gonna have a family party and you're gonna have 20 people over here, you might want this extra lip because it will give you more flexibility and it'll give you more space underneath the cabinet so people can come around here, or underneath the countertop in front of the cabinet so people can come around here more. You gotta think about this home being filled with 20 people and what's the best application, because it's not gonna look very different. And even if you didn't do that, you could always close it off here so you see it when you walk in, you get that impressive feeling or look, and then keep it open over here. Because I would have left this open because why not have some chairs here? There's a lot of space. Yeah, there's 4 feet 9 inches. To make this comfortable, you need 36 inches. So we are well above that. That's what they should have done. They should have definitely left it open here. Here's something to note too. You'll see that there's an outlet in this island. You're required to have an outlet in a property in Chicago. Maybe that's just Cook County, but you have to have one in the island. And a smart thing to do is to put USB or other outlets here so when your guests are here, they can charge their devices. And what's really smart to do is just to do the wireless charging so they can just put it here and they're doing it without any action, 0 friction. They don't have to think about it. They don't even know what's happening. They just put their phone down and bam, it's charging. That's the way to do it right. So this kitchen, I think, is IKEA as well. Now, people give IKEA a hard time on their cabinets. I don't know if this is yet, but IKEA makes great cabinets. One of the biggest knocks though is that for how cheap they are, you still have to assemble them. So there's still labor that is involved. I cannot tell at this stage who makes these cabinets. They do have dovetail, so you know these are well made. These are wood. They're just a standard, they're just a standard kitchen. Very straightforward, nothing special about it. What do they call that? It's a shaker. This is a shaker cabinet. So that's what this inlay is. So whenever you see this, it's a very standard design, very straightforward. If you want to make it a little more elegant, you get something that fades out on an edge, and that way you can add layers to it. It makes it feel a little less simple than this, because this isn't modern. If you're gonna do modern, you're just gonna do a flat front. This can basically fit into a traditional room, a transitional room. It can fit in a few different areas. That's why a lot of people go with it. I do like that they did these see-through cabinets here, but I always hate this, okay? Either these aren't adjusted right, or they just bought the wrong hinges and they kind of cheaped out. I should never have to hold a cabinet door open to get something. I mean, this is just a disaster waiting to happen. So this has a true Lazy Susan, which you really don't see anymore. So this gives it a more traditional feel as well. We do have under cabinet lighting, and they're pucks. So you have to align this just right to make it close. Now, if you come under here, you can see that they have pucks with little coverings for the wire. This is a nice, clean way to do it. The only problem with this is well, it's not necessarily a problem. Some people like it, but it's a highlight. It's like when you put art wall. When you put a piece of art on the wall, you have an art light, and the light shines just on that painting and it's highlighting the whole thing. So here's a perfect example, look at this. Not very lit up. I mean, I can read it, no problem, but it's still dull because the light isn't continuing throughout here. So if you want a nice consistent look, if you want to make sure that everything is highlighted, you want to have that there. Now that's standing out, now it's the object, now it's the subject, now it's the center. That's what you're looking for. So that's my thing about pucks. Pucks are kind of an outdated idea. My guess is these contractors have been doing this for a while. They've been using pucks for a long time and they just didn't order the LED strip. Other than that, cabinets are fairly straightforward. We have Bosch appliances. One thing to note, looking at this, I would have thought this was automatically a drawer microwave. It's not. So what's a little deceiving and I think kind of annoying about this microwave is it's much smaller than it looks. It's loud. I don't like that noise. So this should be this big. Like you think you're gonna have this nice, large, impressive microwave and it looks great. I mean, from out here, it's fantastic, but I'm kind of disappointed when I open it. And you wanna manage expectations better than that, in my opinion. Looking at these appliances, I expected something different when I opened it, so I don't like it. Silent dishwasher and Bosch standard 3-door. Nothing too special in here. I don't know if you check this out, this is kind of cool. We've always seen these things and you can leave it here. But I like this that comes with it, like a little glass. So nothing to do with the house, but just my observation. We have 3 pendant lights here. We talked about the quartz countertops. We talked about the punch outs, and we have this cool deck.